Well, it's time to take a look at one of the issues here in the Fairbanks area that's actually an issue nationwide, but it's come back to the local issues. I guess they say all politics are local. This is actually something that actually happened here in Alaska, down on the Kenai Peninsula, earlier last year when they had a satanic invocation at one of their borough assembly meetings, which got people all bent out of shape. People didn't seem to have a problem with, different groups coming in and offering a prayer before beginning the assembly meetings, until they brought in somebody offering a prayer that they didn't really agree with. Now, here's part of the problem that I have with this whole issue. You're doing something to begin with, making up rules for other people that I don't think you're going to find most religious systems saying is a good thing. Now, some do, as long as it is your religious system that's making the rules. But nobody wants to be under somebody else's thumb, right? You wouldn't want to live under Sharia law, where you have a Muslim cleric deciding who gets to make the rules. And you wouldn't want to go to a borough assembly meeting where you have a Muslim cleric offering a prayer to Allah, asking him to direct how they're going to write the new rules, would you? Then why is it okay to have anybody from any religious organization coming in to offer a prayer? I'll tell you what the issue is. It masks the evil that you are engaging in by making up rules for other people to begin with. Look, you can make your own rules for your own household or for yourself as much as you want to. You can invite anybody in to make rules for you. I don't care. But the second you start making rules for me or for anybody else, you're stepping over that idea of individuality. You're crossing that line and saying that somehow you know better than I do how to live my life. And if you think you can do it about anything, whether you're talking about noise ordinances or whether you're talking about speeding tickets or whether you're talking about how much tax you're going to charge my property, all of these things are related, you see, because the borough or any government agency always gives itself an exception. For instance, noise ordinances. If I went outside and started plowing my driveway at 3 in the morning, the big equipment, beep, 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 scraping, whatever, and the neighbors called and complained, I would get a ticket. I would get fined. And if I didn't pay that fine, they would take my house. I mean, that's the bottom line. The borough does it regularly. I've had some friends over there in that neighborhood by the borough building. They say every night last week they were out there scraping a bare parking lot at 2 in the morning. That's not neighborly, and yet nobody there is being held accountable for it. You know why? Because they have a variance. They get an exception to the rules. They can make up any rule they want to for the rest of us, and they get an exception for yourself. What God are you going to pray to that gives you the permission to do that? Well, I'll tell you what God it is. It's not the God of the Bible. It's the father of lies. So you know what? That whole invocation that they had down there at the Kenai Peninsula Borough Assembly where they had a satanic prayer, I think that's the right prayer you ought to have. And I'll address this to Lance Roberts. He and I have had a few go-rounds over the years. He really likes the idea of continuing to have prayer. He said, quote, "It's a great way to start the meeting, to pull the focus together on creating good and balanced laws." Lance, you're not praying to my God when you're asking for the guidance to write those ridiculous rules. And I want you to really honestly consider maybe the best thing for all of us is to stop pretending that you're making laws in God's image. You're making up rules for other people because you're afraid of going to hell yourself. That's my bottom line. I'd love to engage on this. Send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.